The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Happiness Jungle TV show with yours truly, your Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge. And when you go out and you start meeting people, no matter where you meet them, you're going to find that everybody has an amazing purpose and a value for entering your life. So, a little while ago, I was at a party. A matter of fact, it was an appreciation party, and I got to meet our next guest. She's a business coach, and when I met one of her clients at this event, I got a true testimonial that she is absolutely transparently with an amazing, fabulous result that brings you to where you want to be in your business. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce you to Jen Ryan from, you're right out of here, out of New Hampshire, aren't you, Jen?
I am. I'm originally from Vermont, but I live in Manchester, New Hampshire now.
All right, there you go. And she is going to give you some of the most amazing tips on how to become exactly what you want to become within your business. So, how are you?
I am so excited to be here.
I'm pretty excited that you're here too. What a blessing it was to be able to meet you that evening, because that was the first time we met, isn't that correct?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I am just thrilled that you showed up, and then I got to meet one of your clients.
Yes, Sarah.
And Sarah she said that the results that you helped her with in order to build, she has a salon.
Yes.
Right?
And a spa.
A salon spa down in Manchester, New Hampshire. Let's go ahead and give her some plugs, right?
Oh, yes. So Sarah at the Loft Salon, and that is in the Mill Buildings, and she actually has this is very exciting, and I'm so excited for her. She has an online store, which nobody else is doing. So you can buy all of her professional products, all of the gifts and everything, gift certificates, everything on her online store.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And I know that you helped her create all of this amazing culture of how she is not only now in Manchester, New Hampshire, but she's able to do business all over the world. And that's the beauty of it.
Yes.
And you take clients on from all over the world, right?
Yes, I do, all over the world, because now in the, of course, my favorite is the one-to-one, that personal connection, but many of my clients I've never actually met, only either on Skype or over the phone, because now you can, it's just so easy to connect.
It's so easy. I know when I work with a lot of clients all over the world as well, and I use the platform for Zoom because it's like we're right there with one another, and it's very, very effective. Very effective. So that's a platform I'll go ahead and give out kudos to Zoom for that one, because we're able to reach so many people, make a difference in so many people's lives, and then in return have the results that we want.
Yeah, Sunday night Saturday morning I did a Zoom meeting because I have an online group, and we did a Zoom meeting, and it was so funny because once we got on the Zoom meeting, two of the people actually knew each other in the meeting, and because in Zoom how you can do video, they connected and they saw each other on the Zoom meeting, and they're like, "You're in this group, I'm in this group." It was so funny.
See?
Yeah.
It's a small world.
It really is.
Oh, wow, that's great. Tell us about you. How did you get started becoming a business coach? Where did you come from? How did all of this happen? Because you're amazing at it.
Oh, thank you. So, I have, like yourself, I have a history, or I started in the salon industry 30 years ago. And so I managed a salon, and then I owned the salon, and then I needed a change. So I moved to Tennessee for a year, and that didn't quite work out, but that was okay. It's all a journey, and I have zero regrets because it's beautiful country there. But I came to New Hampshire to clear my head. And of course, I didn't have a clientele anymore, and I didn't have my business anymore. So I answered an ad, and I worked for Redken and Purology for
All
10
right.
years. And that's where I got my business corporate experience. So I had my entrepreneurial experience, and then I had my business experience. And almost 4 years ago, I decided to take that, along with, more importantly, the mindset that I got on my yoga mat.
What?
Yeah. So, you know, being a woman, and this can really be for anybody,
Yeah.
but, you know, oftentimes we're trying to be the best mom, the best, and even though I'm not a two-legged mom, I'm a four-legged mom, and I'm somebody's daughter, and somebody's sister, and aunt, and cousin, and neighbor, and friend, and all of that, and I felt that when I would find myself on the mat, I wasn't really on the mat. I was in a meeting, I was, you know, in my emails, I wasn't really there. I was physically there.
Were you able, let me go there, because there's a lot of people that get on that mat, on the yoga mat, me included, and we're told to go into a still position and to start meditating. I have a difficult time with that. It sounds like you kind of have that same little struggle. So how are you able to use the yoga philosophies, the yoga, you know, meditations and everything to do that? What is your secret to be having that clarity?
Yeah, so it's actually, you know, it's a journey and it shifts. So what I found is that when you meet yourself where you're at, that's where you start. So whether it be in a conversation here or in business, no matter where you go, there you are. And if you are stressed out and overwhelmed, or you're feeling less than, or you're not happy with yourself, that will show up in all areas of your life, right? Because the thing is that, you know, we all have stress in our life, and we all have expectations, and we all try to be everything to everyone. But if you're not being true to yourself, no matter if you're on your yoga mat, or you're in a board meeting, or you're with your family, you know, wherever you go, there you are. So what I found is that I got to use my yoga mat as my practice, right? So I learned to get in the moment and connect to my breath there. I learned to disconnect to the outside world there.
Wow.
I learned to not judge myself or judge others. I'm a human being there. Because sometimes when life gets hard, we want to take the focus off ourselves, so we have to put it on somebody else, right? And so there's all of us have had a moment or two when we've been a martyr, or we've done something for someone else to distract from our own stuff. So I really found that for me, once I started doing that, I was still always me. I'm still a type A, get her done kind of girl, but I was a softer version of me.
Okay.
And that started showing up in other areas. And I started to judge myself less. I started to have more kindness. I started to have more sympathy and compassion with myself, and therefore it showed up in other areas.
Wow. That's work. So were you reading more as well as doing the yoga? Were you listening to more positive people in your life? Were you changing your inner circle of where you were hanging out? I now call many people like you my entrepreneur partner, because we're not in business together. We haven't invested in the same thing, but we're in the same circle. I'm a student of yours. You're a student of mine. And it's beautiful, because that's what I call the strength of having an entrepreneur partner, is that at the end of the day, we walk away, but we never have to worry about getting a divorce. You know, because business partners, just saying. So would you suggest and recommend that they follow into that same format? What is your coaching technique when you get a client that is just starting out? So, you know, a lot of times people say to me, I don't get the yoga connection with business. And so yoga is, for me, it was my laboratory, but I use it as my metaphor. So, for instance, you asked me where I meet people where they're at. And so if you are, for instance, trying to start a program, but you have this massive stress at home, sometimes we got to take care of that first. Or sometimes it's in the belief system that you have this great idea, much like this television show, right? So if you have this great idea and this great vision, but in the back of your mind, if you don't believe you can do it, then we got a problem. If you don't have a support system of people telling you that you can do it, or
just encouraging you to be the best version of yourself, then we got a problem. So I always say that, you know, where our breakdown comes is when our core values, our belief system, and I don't mean like, do you believe in God or Jesus or Buddha or frogs or whatever it is that your higher power is, right? I'm talking about your belief system in yourself. If you have limiting beliefs. So your core values, your belief system, and your goals all have to be in alignment. And when those are out of alignment, that's when things start to fall apart. So what I do, my job is to partner with my client and help them find that clarity. Help them see where it feels like we're putting a square peg in a round hole, where that resistance is. Is it in the belief? Is it that you're trying to do something that doesn't really align? Sometimes we're trying to do something because somebody else told us we should do that, right?
That is true.
Right? So, you know, you've had quite the journey, and that sometimes when you start off as one thing and people put you in the box, like I started out 30 years ago as working in the salon world,
right,
as a hairdresser, like people want to put me in that box. Like they don't understand. Even when I moved to go into the corporate world, they still didn't understand what I did in the corporate world. They're like, you sold shampoo. And I'm like, no, I've never even taken an order. Like, no, I don't sell shampoo.
Right.
But it helped them.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can't worry about what somebody else is doing on their yoga mat, if you get what I'm saying.
I understand.
That we have to get back on our own yoga mat.
Yeah.
And we can't be afraid to take up space.
Wow. You know, I could see you speaking in colleges. Do we know, yes we do, how many college students graduate and never pursue what they've gone to college for? And I credit that too because they went to college with that wrong mindset of this is what my parents want me to become. This is what I'm told I have to become. Yeah. So they struggle for the first year because they just take the basics. Trying to figure out their first freshman year, then they go on for the next 3 years or so, and they still aren't happy. They either drop out of college, start their own thing, or they graduate, and they're stuck until there's someone like you that comes around and says, you don't have to be there, you know? And in regards to the hair industry, I also am a cosmetologist. I also owned a salon spa down in South Florida, but I loved it. I loved it. So being able to pursue the creativity and everything else, it was fabulous.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you've targeted it and said, be who you want to be. Not everybody should be everything, or else how could we possibly find a McDonald's drive-through to drive through? You know? There are people that want to own those franchises. That's what they want, but they were told that, no, they can't do that. They have to go and do this. And at the end of it, the journey, they end up owning a franchise of some sort.
And, you know, the thing is that like I said, I sold my business kind of on a whim. I moved to Tennessee. That didn't work out. And that's all okay, is that it's okay to change. It's okay that I have zero regrets. I did not go to your typical 4-year school. You know, I didn't go to college, if you will.
Right.
I took a different path, but I have no regrets on that.
Are you from the School of Hard Knocks?
I am.
Absolutely.
I grew up on a dirt road in Wadden, Vermont, my friend. Right?
Yes.
Right? So, and I've had quite the journey, and I've had amazing mentors and amazing people in my life, and I don't know where I'm going next, and I'm okay with that.
That's right.
I am totally okay with that, and there's no right or wrong. There's just a path.
Right.
And it's okay to do this, and then because it gradually just keeps you going.
Yeah, it does. So let me go back, because the one thing that I know is that you're a accredited coach.
Yes, I am a certified coach.
And the power that you have of helping people accomplish what they want is amazing.
Oh, thank you. It really, you know what? I just show up, meet them where they're at.
That's right.
And let them know that they are perfect just the way they are. And, you know, and from being behind the chair for so many years, right? I mean,
as a psychiatrist?
Thank you, right? It's not...
Careful what you tell your hairdresser.
Exactly, right? It wasn't always about the hair for me. It was about the people connection. And then you learn a skill, and then it's about the growth.
That's right.
So, you know, every day I got to practice doing what I love to do. And then, you know, then I went to the corporate world and I got to practice helping people grow their business. And then I was like, hey, I can take all of it and help people in this way.
That's right. And it's fabulous. So you meet a new client. They're excited about something, but they are so scared. Everything is just overwhelming to them.
Yes.
I want my audience to walk away saying, I absolutely need to contact Jen today. I want them to find out what is the first steps besides calling you and connecting with you. What is that mindset that they should be really indulging in?
First of all, that no matter what, they're enough. First and foremost. And then my very first...
Say that again.
You are enough. You are always enough.
That's right.
And to be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, stop comparing yourself to anybody else, get on your own mat, or if you don't like that metaphor, get in your own lane.
That's right.
Whatever it is, be in your own house. The grass always looks greener somewhere else. You can't, you know, start in somebody else's middle. Right?
Powerful.
You have to, and every day that could be different.
Yeah.
Because life changes.
So many of our viewers have such creative minds.
Yeah.
And in today's world, because of social media and everything else, they could build their empires.
Anything is possible.
Everything and anything is possible.
Anything is possible. You know, it's funny. Sarah and I together, we collaborate. She lets me do my own thing at her space, right?
Nice.
So she hosts it and I run a networking meeting. And so we opened it today and then we had some new people and somebody kind of opened up and was telling her story and how she was feeling. Well, I don't want to share too much personal stuff, but she was sharing a story about how somebody had made her feel. Well, and technically no one can really make us feel a certain way, but how she felt.
That's right.
And somebody else was like, oh, I felt that way too. And somebody else lit up and was like, oh, that was me too. See, the thing is, we're not that complicated and we're not that different.
That's right.
We all have a story. We all have those days. We all have insecurities.
That's right.
And I love the connection. And so to come back to your question, what does somebody do with me? The very first thing we do is we get clarity. We get clarity because without clarity we can't, you can go forward, but that's where the stress and the overwhelm come in, is the lack of clarity. When you have clarity and then you get crystal clear on what it is that you want, then we create the action plan. And that's where the magic happens. But first and foremost, we need to get clear.
Yeah.
And I love helping
accept
people
forgiveness.
Get clear. Yeah, and a lot of times that's forgiveness in ourselves.
100%.
Got to start with yourself.
Yes. Oh,
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
So your client meets with you, you figure it out, they have clarity, they're like, I've never even told anybody this, but this is really what I want to do. What would you say?
I'd say, let's get her done.
Let's get her done.
Let's get her done.
Let's get her done.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's so intricate, but so simple at the same time. Once you have your clarity, and then we work on the action plan, and we break it down to small, manageable, bite-sized pieces, and then we realize, what are we wasting our time on?
That's right.
What are we doing that we shouldn't do? What are we saying yes to, that it's okay to say no to? Giving people permission. You know, one of the saddest stories, I came across this woman once, and she told me that she had, and literally I knew her about 2.5 minutes. She told me that she had gone to Weight Watchers and she'd lost all this weight. But her own mother told her that she shouldn't be spending the, what was it, $8 a week.
Right.
And that on Saturday morning she should be home with her kids. And that woman, in tears, a complete stranger to me, is telling me the story that she gained all the weight back and more.
Of course.
Because the guilt, the shame, and her own mother did not empower her to take 1 hour a week and surround herself with people to encourage her.
That's right.
And shame on me because, you know, I met her at an event and I never got her information, but that was about 5 years ago, and that story still sticks to me to this day.
Oh, she's going to see you because you're on the show.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Yeah, and she's going to reach out to you. And there are times where, I talk about this all the time, whether she was supposed to be a client of yours or not, she came into your life for purpose.
Or, yeah, or maybe for me to realize how important the work that we do is.
Yeah, and how I want to applaud you, because without even realizing it, you probably helped her more than you could ever imagine.
I hope so.
And I'm going to say thank you for all the people around the world, because we don't know who we touch, and you have no idea right now. They could be sitting in India, for goodness sakes. They could be sitting in Europe right now, for goodness sakes, or right here in the United States. And just because of your words of wisdom,
I hope so.
you know, they change your lives. You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I'm on radio. I'm invited to be on radio, and I was on radio right here in Manchester, New Hampshire last week. I'm at Walmart with my grandchildren. You don't know who follows you. You don't know who listens to you. You don't even know how your voice is carrying, right? I'm on the express line with my granddaughters, and we're laughing and we're talking, and all of a sudden this lady that's over on another lane, she said to me, "Excuse me," and I said, "Yes," and she goes, "Are you Lyn-Dee?" And I said, "I am Lyn-Dee." And she goes, "I knew it. I recognized your voice. You're as kind as you were on the radio. I heard you last week on the radio. This is at 7 a.m. And I was like, "You did?" And she goes, "I did. And I didn't see you, but your voice."
Yeah.
And she said, "Thank you for being transparently who you are and who you said you were."
Yeah.
Huh. So your voice is going to carry, and we will never know until we know.
You're right. It is true. It is true. And, you know, speaking of Facebook and all that, it's funny because, you know, social media has added a whole nother layer of competition, stress, and overwhelm, right? Because we only put our best selves forward, right? We don't say, "Hey, I'm feeling fat and ugly today," or, "Hey, I feel like I'm less than because your Facebook Live was so much better than mine." But we're thinking it. And so, or sometimes people won't like, or they won't comment or anything. And then you're like, why am I even bothering, right? But I cannot tell you how many times somebody will come up to me and say, "Oh, I love your Facebook Lives." I'm like, "You do?"
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So for the viewers out there, there are people that are watching you. Do what you want. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Get a good coach or a mentor. I have a coach and a mentor.
Oh, same.
We will have coaches and mentors,
Yes.
because we never want to be the smartest person in the room. We always want to be growing.
Yes.
You know, some people think, "I'm there." Where are you? where are we?
I've arrived.
You know, and she goes, "Oh my God," you know, and if they compliment me and I look around and I feel like I am the smartest person in the room, I enjoy it because I'm able to share and give back.
Yes.
But I know I need to find another room.
Yes.
As well. And
Yes.
then those people, you know, that were in that inner circle that are so special, I get to help them in all different ways, just like you do. So we put ourselves with pockets of time, but just make sure you're filling your pockets with what you need. In regards to Facebook and social media, 100%. People get to shine the way they want to shine, or they don't. Every page that I have on social media is very positive, with the truth about Lyn-Dee Eldridge. 2017 was a very trying tornado year for me in several different ways, and I was very transparent with my audience, and I was so transparent with them that they also got to see how I deal and handle with things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if you're coaching and you're mentoring, you got to be who you say you are.
Absolutely.
You have feelings, you have emotions, we cry, we get angry, we just don't stay there. We've learned that.
That's so funny that you say that, because people will say to me, "Do you not go there, or can I just go there?" Wherever there is, in the dark place or the angry place. And I said, "Oh yeah, of course you can go there. Matter of fact, you have to go there. You have to feel. You have to process whatever's going on, right?" So I'm Irish Catholic, and you're supposed to just pick up the rug, put it under there, right? I mean, you don't cry, nothing, right? What I've learned is, yes, you can go there, and you need to go there.
Yes.
You cannot stay there.
Amen.
You cannot stay there.
Yeah.
But it is important to go there. It is important to not deny yourself those feelings.
That's
it's important to feel it and then identify it, and identify how you got there, but more importantly, how you want to feel instead. It's making that shift.
That's
over.
right. And using the vocabulary. There's a whole training program that I do. It's called, first of all, I do 2 different blueprints. One is for personal, one is for business, and it leads to a happier you.
Yeah.
how do you want to create your new blueprint? And every day you have the eraser, you have the ruler, and you have the pencil. And you could either erase a room, you could add on a closet, you could do whatever it is that you want to do in your life.
I love that.
You know, I enjoy it. What is my topic for 2018? It's all about the year of the cookies, how to maintain a positive, productive posture while your cookies are crumbling. It's all about how you take the broom out of the utility closet and you sweep up your crumbs. It's that easy.
I love that.
So you're not going to believe it, but we're almost out of time.
Where does the time go?
I know. That's what
I feel
happens.
like I just got here.
I know, and so do I. How do people get a hold of you, Jen?
So easy. So Jen Ryan. And it's so funny because people will say to me, when you introduce yourself, you say Jen Ryan like it's one word.
Right.
And I'm like, but that's what people call me, Jen Ryan. You know, it's just, there's so many Jens and Jennifers, Jen Ryan. So Jen Ryan is my name. You can find me in my private Facebook group. You can just join. It's Women Stepping into Success.
Beautiful.
You can go to my business page, which is just Jen Ryan Coaching.
That's a great page, by the way.
Thank you.
I went right through it. I was like so inspired. I'm like, I am so happy I am going to be able to showcase you today.
Oh.
Yeah, it gave me goosebumps.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Or you can just email me, Jen with one N, jen@jenryancoaching.com.
That's fantastic. And
so easy.
You will take clients from all over the world.
I will take clients from all over the world.
And we've been talking with Jen about living your life with purpose, peace, and prosperity.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about. Those are such powerful words.
Yeah.
And I just want people to go ahead and put another P on there for positivity. And if you're having challenges and you're talking to yourself, or other people are talking to you and they're telling you that you shouldn't be doing something, I want you to turn all that around and take away the negative and bring in the positive of it. Yeah. And it's a slow process. It's that slight edge philosophy, but it can happen.
It's shifts.
Yeah, it's a shift.
Shifts. It's definitely, that's what I tell people. We're not changing the world in one day. We're making shifts.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, whether it be in traffic or whatever, something will happen and you'll notice that you just have a different knee-jerk reaction.
That's right.
And then you know you've made a shift.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave you all with this thought. It was said by a very good friend and my mentor, Mr. Les Brown. And what he says is that you can leave your past, but your past will never leave you. Isn't that powerful?
That is powerful.
And I want to leave that with the thought because no matter what we do in life, every now and then from the back of our mind, there's that little thing that comes in front of us to say, nee, and it's up to you to go, whoa, I left you in the past. I know you're still there, but you don't have the best of me. Ladies and gentlemen, I never said that life was easy, but I did say you can be happier with JenRyan.com. I highly encourage you to look her up and enjoy her because she is very powerful. Take care, everybody. Say bye, Jen.
Bye.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.